You're a little bit racist in the 3 hour stream.
What about what I asked me? What do I think about mixed race households? Because on the extreme parts of the alt-right on Twitter, people have an issue with it. Now, I don't have an issue with a small percentage of the population marrying someone that they love, especially as a Christian, where you receive a blessing to get married and consecrate that marriage and have a child.
Was that the same stream? Was that the same stream where you were co-hosting with a person? I believe it was called Anon Chud.
Pardon?
It was a person called Anon Chud, which you co-hosted a stream with, right?
I didn't.
You co-hosted a stream with him, and he said he wants to make it legal to kill all non-white British people in this country.
Not what he said.
He said that. He said that. And you lost.
No, he said that hate crimes can very easily be overridden with pedantics, and it was supposed to emphasise.
Do you want me to play that video as well? Do you want me to play that video as well?
He said it.
He said it. He said it. He's co-hosting a stream with someone who says he wants to legally kill all black and brown people in this country. You as well, buddy. I don't know why you're backing him.
I don't want to kill Jason. Now, the point of the stream. So he was making 2 points by saying that.
Yeah.
The first point.
Let him justify. I'm okay. I've got all the evidence. I don't need to hide anything.
Crimes are very easily overridden by pedantic statements. So, for example, instead of saying,
notice how he's talking so much, right?
Race of people,
trying to justify his ethno-nationalist state to his ethnic minority Christian Speaker's Corner channels.
Illegal by the death penalty. It was opposed to outright the hypocrisy.
This is against Christianity. This is against Islam.
I think that statement, in isolation from that context, is totally un-Christian. I don't call for the killing of anyone.
So why did you laugh after he said it? Why did you laugh after he said it? Why did you say some of us have to be careful about what we say online?
Because
isn't the right thing to do? Say you're an extremist. I want to deplatform you. I don't want to co-host with you anymore. That's the responsible thing to do. That's the adult thing to do. But the issue we have here is that the ethno-nationalists want to run this little kid around, flirt with these Christian nationalists. And the fact is, they're incompatible. You're interrupting me now. Christianity is incompatible with what the message this guy is preaching right here. This guy is preaching for a country to be 95% white British across the board in every county of this country. How are you going to accomplish that when the majority of this country doesn't believe in that in the first case? The second thing is, more than 5% of the ethnic minorities in this country are long established in this country. So how are you going to...
What was the percentage you said?
You said you wanted 95% of this country.
What was the percentage of the generational migrants in this country? 5%?
No, I'm saying there's more than 5% of this country that is long-term integrated into the UK in some manner.
Did it have the democratic consent of its people?
So the more than 5%, listen to this, guys.
No,
the more than 5%.
Did mass migration have a mandate from its people? Yes or no?
I'm not debating mass migration. I'm talking about what about the Windrush generation? What about the generations that came from the expulsions of Africa, like the Idi Amin expulsion, for example, of which I'm a descendant, right? We've been in this country longer than the mass migration you're referring to now. But the fact is, when you add up the Windrush generation, when you add up the expulsions from Africa, the other expulsions from the British Empire, that these immigrants helped contribute to the prospering of the British Empire throughout its history. So the fact is, these 5%, you're saying you want this country to be 95% white British, right?
No, I said.
You literally said that.
So I said.
Look, this guy is a snake. He weasels out of every statement he says.
I gave a different bandwidth between 85 and 95%.
All right, 85.
And I asked you.
You didn't say 85%. You said 95%.
No, I literally said it right here. If you weren't bothering and interrupting me, you would have heard it.
You're saying right here 85%. Last week you said 95%.
I wasn't even
the other week you said 100%. Anyway, I'm just kidding. I'm just saying that your behavior seems to follow this up.
You can be
all right, go ahead.
So I want to round up on all the points you've said.
Sure.
First point is, my previous friend was trying to make 2 points. First of all, the hate crime, the hate speech laws in this country are totally unexcusable. Because I could say, I want to kill races of people in this country. That's obviously legal. It should be.
That's what your friend is saying. The guy you're co-hosting with, by the way, right?
Act of violence.
The guy you're co-hosting
Not my friend, an anonymous account. I gave it to him because he was going to moderate the channel. But anyways, the second point he was trying to make was how the right was drastically becoming extreme. And he gave an analogy on how the sort of moderate nationalism I owe to, mass migration did not have the democratic consent of its people, and we do need to create a hostile environment for a lot of migrants coming into this country.
Okay.
And the joke was, and it was a bit more of a skit, was that gradually, if we'd actually got a hold on this migration crisis, we could get to a point in this country where people genuinely hold to it. That was why I was laughing. And it's like, you know, there's a lot of political skits, like the People's Giant of Judea.
Okay,
talk
so
about how
I want to get to the nitty-gritty details, right? So you're looking for a country that's 90 to 95% white British across the board, right? Yeah. So how are we going to accomplish that?
Yeah, so we create a hostile environment. So if you read Restore Britain's 120-page document, it goes into more articulate detail into how we achieve that. But I believe that we should create
sorry, just one thing I want to add. The Muslim population of this country is 6.5%, 7% of this country. They're an integral part of this country. They are part of this community and they help this British community prosper. The average Muslim donates over £700 to charity annually, whereas the British average outside of that is £105. I'm talking about various aspects of the British Muslim community. The British Muslim community is up and coming. They are the next generation. They are an essential part of the next generation. Nigel Farage in Reform, which I'm sure you agree, he had said that the British Muslim community is an integral part of the UK ecosystem. But Nigel Farage has said that. So I want to get out to you guys. I understand. But I think people, they don't understand the nitty-gritty details. So I'm trying to explain to them. The fact is,
to me or you're speaking to the camera?
Okay. The fact is, Labour, the Conservatives, Liberal Democrats, the Greens, and Reform all think you're an extremist.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
And I agree with you because they're all part of the establishment.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you actually polled it, so recently, you must know that the average general member of the public for the last 150 years has had the average economic and social policy of New Labour. If you poll each constituency, it's
let's talk about the fact that you're
local and also national.
No, I want to get to the focus, which is the fact is you're an extremist because you're asking for 90% to 95%. Notice how he's dodging the fact that he wants 90 to 95%.
I'm responding to your point that the general public is in line with my position, and I'll tell you why with polls. So towards local and national elections, they all poll the economic and social policies of each constituency on average. And traditionally, your average constituent had the social and economic policy of a new Labour Blairite, right? And a recent poll done close to the local elections has found that 64% of everyone in each constituency polled found that migration is actually damaging the British economy. And as I keep on emphasising to you, I believe genuinely.
But Reform are also against migration, but they think you're an extremist.
Yes, so fantastic. Because Reform's part of the establishment. Took in a bunch of Tories, said mass deportation was impossible. Said we have to appease the Muslim community in this country.
The fact is, the only party that's willing to host this guy is a party that believes in fox hunting, that believes in a multi-millionaire that lives in Great Yarmouth.
100,000 members, 600 branches.
I love Great Yarmouth, by the way.
10 out of 10 of the councillors in the elections that they run. Restore Britain is a mainline political party. Hosted by most media establishments.
It's a mainline political party that only runs in Great Yarmouth.
Of course. Because it just established in 4 months.
It's only running Great Yarmouth though.
Because vetting over 1,000.
They couldn't register candidates in time.
Yeah, you couldn't vet
very on it.
Vet the candidates. God, I wouldn't like to see the vetting process.
So I just want to clarify one thing. Does Restore Britain, do they believe in the same, like what do you agree with Restore Britain's view of remigration? Yes. And what is that?
So Restore Britain's policy on remigration, again, I can't condense a 120-page document into one. They want to create a hostile environment for migrants.
They want to create a hostile environment for migrants. A hostile environment for migrants.
Fantastic. Because there's so many of them coming in. I wish the best for these people. I wish that we could actually accept migrants into this country without it demographically replacing the native people. Like, as a Christian, I genuinely have love for these people. And I also disagree with sort of boomer talking points that we shouldn't help other countries in the globe, right? If there are Christians being persecuted in different lands, we should be able to help these people.
You don't care about Christians abroad.
Of course I do.
He's not a Christian.
Of course I do.
You're an ethno-nationalist. Let's go to, okay, so you're now, I'm a bit confused because like last time I was tracking you, you were in Advanced UK.
No, for briefly I was a member.
So now you've jumped already.
As a member.
You're a member. So now you're a Restore, right?
Yeah, a member of Restore.
Okay.
I have no formal position in any party, and I don't want to. I just simply want to campaign for movements, people, and candidates I believe in.
Okay.
And it was very telling of me, I'd be able to go into Advanced UK, that didn't have as strong as a re-migration policy that I have. Because I practically work within the bounds of the political spectrum in this country. That's why I believe the vast amount of general public of this country believes that migration is a bad thing for this country. That migration is like a textual thing. It should be able to enhance the actual
There's a difference between whatever the vast majority of this country believe and what you believe. You believe in a 90 to 95% white British state. You are clearly not. First of all, he hasn't even defined what British means. A white British person is.
Okay, so
what is
this guy can't even answer what a conservative is.
Yeah, no, hang on. What is the ethnos? What is
you're teaming up?
I'm not teaming up with anyone. Hang on.
And you did it with Jono as well, because he's actually been using this.
I wasn't talking about you with Jono.
This is actually very
okay. What I was talking about with Jono, which you're trying to misrepresent me here. I was talking
to Jono in the past, right?
No, I haven't worked with Jono. I was just.
You've spoken to it.
I've spoken. Yeah, I've spoken to
Christian
him.
apologists at the park, right?
No, I spoke about Ricky Doolan.
No, because
I spoke about Ricky Doolan and the fact that hang on. Apparently,
cited me and other people and used your video as evidence.
I didn't see
and
that.
the video he was talking about was you going up to other Christian apologists who were trying to engage in a religious discussion, and you cited me. They have nothing to do.
I'll address both things. Can I speak? Can I speak now?
No, hold on. You interrupted me. And this is the reason why I had a discussion with you, right? If you have a problem, you speak to me.
Okay.
You don't, in fact, go to other people.
Okay. Can I spend the time? Can I address two things? Can I address? I have two. All right. Can I talk about two things, right? Both things you mentioned. First of all, the discussion I had with Jono wasn't even to do with him. I don't know why he's quoting that. That was to do with a figure called Ricky Doolan, who is the person that converted Tommy Robinson to Christianity.
He claims that. Yeah, Tommy.
And he's leading the United Kingdom rally, right? Yeah.
He's a modalist.
Yeah, he's a modalist, but he's leading the United Kingdom rally. Yeah. So hang on. Ricky Doolan follows a church, the Spirit Assembly Church, which is run by Pastor Hubert Angel. Hubert Angel is a false prophet. He's a false prophet in Zimbabwe who claims to do miracles. He's a prosperity preacher. He says people who follow him suddenly have money appear in their bank accounts. People who follow him suddenly have their bills cleared. He claims to have moved the moon. Ricky Doolan has claimed to have seen that, and Ricky Doolan has said, Mr. Angel is the best Christian I know. He is my father, spiritual father. So I want to ask you now, Rob, do you support the United Kingdom protest whose spiritual father is a false prophet in Zimbabwe?
So, first of all, that's not true. Ricky Doolan is not the spiritual father of the UTK movement, and I would actually not attend if that was true. I don't agree with Pastor Ricky Doolan and his modalism.
But do you agree with the United Kingdom protest?
He's good at singing.
You agree with the United Kingdom protest?
But if he went on stage and said, this is what the Trinity is, and gave a modalistic answer, I would say, no one engage with this guy. Because I don't agree with Ricky Doolan's ministry at all. I think he's actually going to damage a lot of self.
So he's taking a leading role in the United Kingdom protest, you know that, right?
Yeah, he's singing.
No, he's not just singing.
Yeah, he is.
He is Tommy Robinson's spiritual authority. Hang on. If there was an imam leading a movement, would you align? I'll give you a
better analogy. If I was a Muslim, right, and
why can't you just call out Pastor Angel? Why can't you just call out this false prophet? This obvious false prophet.
Bob's called him out. I will call him out. I don't like.
Then why is Bob? Why are you? I don't know about you. Why are you guys going to the United Kingdom rally when there's this guy who's leading the rally, who's following this false prophet?
Okay, so
it's simple logic.
So the logic is this. If Tommy mobilized millions of people and they are searching for the Christian faith, I would prefer to be present and at least give my witness of the faith, what I believe Christianity is. And if Ricky Doolan is going to be there with his little guitar and he's not going to talk about the Trinity, I think that's fine.
You got any gold in your backpack?
No.
Did Ricky give you any gold?
Listen.
Did Ricky give you any gold?
Ricky doesn't. Okay.
Does he pay?
Allegedly.
From what I've seen, there's a lot of gold going around. Very stupid of Ricky Doolan to listen to an Al Jazeera plot where they claim to be Hong Kong
he was caught on
dissidents,
camera, dude.
Right?
He's
Very
exposing
stupid.
Ricky Doolin. Yeah.
I don't know anything about him privately. Never really had a cup of tea with him or anything. Can't confirm if it's true or not.
Yeah.
But he's a list at the end of the day. He's not my pastor.
Young
He's
Bob.
not been listed as the spiritual father of the UTK rally.
I was just simply pointing to the fact that that's the discussion I had with Jono. The discussion was on Ricky Doolin. You were trying to manipulate that conversation, saying it was about you when it wasn't. It was about Ricky Doolin and this false prophet, Pastor Angel. So yeah, the second part where you said I went up to Chris and I was saying like, why is the association? You want me to address that?
Fair, someone who has kids, he probably isn't.
Like half the people here probably have kids. So what's that got to do with anything? But he's so soft, he has to have you come here to speak up for him.
Narrative here.
Okay.
So he does not know anything about my Twitter page. He doesn't know anything about politics.
So what's happening here, ladies and gentlemen? What's happening here, ladies and gentlemen, is this is kind of a situation where Chris, the Speaker's Corner, he clearly endorses what young Bob is saying, but he can't come out clearly about it because he has kids, because he has this, that, the other. So using young Bob, just like the ethno-nationalists use young Bob to come here and do their dirty work. Chris, the Speaker's Corner, gets young Bob to do his dirty work because he has his career on the line, he has young kids, he has all of these things. So that's why I went up to him and I said, how can you be letting someone like you do his dirty work for him when you're throwing fascist salutes in my face the last time we had a discussion like this, right? When you are calling, and I've got the video, and we've all heard the video now, that there's a video out there of him saying mixed race children have genetic issues. When he has been going around here saying...
because there's genetic issues across the ethnic and racial lines. Like, you understand that the very reason why I'm white and you're darker is because you come from a different people who were exposed to the sun.
Okay, I want to touch on this for a second, right? So, like, what is the native people of this country?
It's the admixture of the ethnogenesis of this country, which is the Anglo-Saxons, the Mormons.
Okay, let's just touch on this. Okay.
The Cornish, Mormons.
Okay, hang on. So he's saying the Anglo-Saxons, the Mormons, for some reason.
No,
I don't know why he was going there. So apparently, he's defined his whole movement on this, and he defines the native people as Mormons. He slipped up. Okay, I'm not gonna labour the point. Okay, so you said the Anglo-Saxons, right?
You stop being so eager to interrupt me.
So the Anglo-Saxons. Go ahead. Just don't say Mormons again. Just don't say Mormons again. Okay, go ahead.
First of all, it's not the sort of only thing I talk about in Speaker's Corner. Second thing, you try to act like, first of all, I have a lot of contact with Chris.
He's just going to avoid this conversation.
I'm so incredibly busy with politics, I'm barely able to even speak to these people at Speaker's Corner. That's why I think it's incredibly unfair. I don't know what Chris is like in his private life. I don't really speak to the fella. There's certainly a big age difference, so, we couldn't really talk about, things that we have in common.
Sure. Okay.
So it's not like he's calling me and telling him to do politics.
But like, you guys have been having conversations here in Speaker's Corner.
The only discussion I
you guys have been platforming each other. You guys have been saying...
I can swear on God. I can swear on God.
James,
the only discussions I have with Chris on a regular basis is when he's at this corner and on camera. So,
but you guys have voiced your support of each other multiple times. Have you not?
Show me.
Yes,
you show me.
When, after he got attacked in Speaker,
I don't like people being attacked.
You voiced your support.
Tackled by a Christian, I'll call it out on the video.
I'm not condoning the attack, but I'm saying the fact is.
Okay, so then why should I be silent about it? If you
but you're voicing your support in other areas. You're voicing your support in other areas. You're trying to jump there. Listen, guys, I asked him a simple question. What is the native people of this country? He's slipping up. He can't even answer the simple question.
I'm trying to.
This is the conversation you want, no? This is not the conversation they want.
So if you just keep on interrupting me, I could very easily...
Listen, Bob, you can pick on students, you can pick on university students outside this corner, but you're not going to be able to handle me on this conversation, okay?
Better manners and are more pious than yourself.
I've let you speak the whole time.
No, you haven't.
Okay, let's have a civil conversation.
Let's try to have a civil discussion where he doesn't interrupt.
Okay, sure.
You don't interrupt me. Now, the thing is, native people can be, and what means to be British are two different things.
Sure.
Because Britishness can be a legal identity, it can be a civic one, and it can be an ethnic one, right? I currently believe that we have to create a hostile environment for migrants because there's not been a democratic consent of its people to accept millions of people into this country, right? Unless you can show me otherwise, where we have a referendum on migration, and trust me, I've been part of campaigns to set a mass migration referendum where we actually agree with the rate of migration currently. The second thing I would say, and I want to make it very clear, no Christian at Speaker's Corner do I regularly speak to? Do they actually speak about my politics? They are more clued up, they're more focusing on their own ministry and their own work, either privately working outside of this or working on their social media or their profiles.
Can I ask? Go on. Did Chris go to the United Kingdom protest last time?
No.
No, okay.
even then, I have nothing to do with the UTK rally. I've made it very clear.
I understand. You're a bit extremer than the UTK rally.
Of course.
No, I think it's great.
You're a bit more extreme than the UTK rally. I'm saying people in the UTK rally, they don't all endorse his views on creating an ethno-state. But yeah, anyway, let's go back to the point, right?
Yeah.
What do you define as a native person of this country?
This is the ethnogenesis of this country. It's just simply a mixture of different groups who've settled
Mixture of different groups. So Anglo-Saxon, Celts, Normans, Vikings.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, do you agree that the Anglo-Saxons themselves are a mixture of two ethnogroups? Yes.
That's why I said that. Like the way that countries settle is that generationally, settlers will come into a land and settle there.
Okay. So, what is the what distinguishes one merger of an ethnicity from another merger of an ethnicity, and what time periods are we talking here? No, but I'm saying like the Anglo-Saxons, right?
You're asking me what's the difference between an apple and an orange.
No, I'm saying
we can talk about how the orange is orange and how the apple is red.
No, I'm saying the Anglo-Saxons are a merger of the Anglo people and the Saxons, right? Yeah.
And then they settled here, and then the people that already settled in England, they breeded with each other, and they created a distinctive group of people, which know the English, Scottish, Welsh,
yeah, but when migrants come from abroad, right, and then they intermarry with the Anglo-Saxon population.
Yeah, and my ancestors, and if we do have this mass, interracial mingling, right?
You support that?
I don't support cohorts of people. I don't.
So
I don't support millions of people coming in because it's unfair for the millions of people coming in and also these people. If you're asking about interracial marriages, probably like 1% of the population, absolutely fine. If you love a white woman, what can I do about it? You love her.
No, but I'm asking. So ethnicities that are not Anglo-Saxon, when they come to the UK and they intermarry with the Anglo-Saxon population,
their children.
Are they native?
A bit of Anglo-Saxon.
Are they in the native umbrella?
Like if a Pakistan.
Are they in the native umbrella of what you consider? They are native to this country. Okay, so mixed race children are native to this country. Okay.
Even people who hold to more extreme positions. Than me, like Steve Laws, who I don't agree with, what he would say.
But you platform that you talk to regularly.
Yeah, I talk to anyone. I'm talking to you right now.
Sure, but in a different vibe. In a different vibe, when you're talking to me, it's in a confrontational situation. Whereas with Steve Laws, it's in a more backing up.
I had a 3-hour discussion with him in which I pushed back on some of his points and accepted some of his points. The thing is, if the same way that Steve Laws treated me, you treat me currently, we'd have more of an ample discussion right now. But so far, whenever I speak to you at Speaker's Corner, try to create a narrative.
No, guys. I'm not going to let him do this. Last time, he even this was an ambush. He came when I'm just minding my own business. Right?
Or don't speak to me behind my back.
Okay, but let's get back to the conversation.
Do you think it's fair if someone is spoken to behind their back, they have the right to, in your aims, ambush them? If I went around the block saying that Tay is Christophobic,
you've got around slandering me, young Bob. You've got around slandering me on camera.
I wanted to raise with this, really, but I was going through a very personal situation the last time you ambushed me, and it was on a very personal topic, and you were not willing to engage on the fact that. But you weren't, because you had cameras, because you're all about the cameras, Bob. You're all about the.
So you're in a Tay. You could have whispered in my ear. This is something you've only came up with months after this whole time I've traumatized you. You've been traumatized by
it's because, and you're talking about my manners. Where was the manners there? Where I constantly told you, Bob, if you're going to come up to me and engage with me, it's better to do it off camera.
Did I speak about you behind your back?
Let's go back to the conversation.
Well done. I'm not going to have.
And that all originated after that incident.
Have I spoken about Tay behind other people's backs? Is that yes or no?
I'm not aware of that.
Okay, because I don't do it.
Because I'm not throwing Hitler salutes. I'm not going around throwing Hitler salutes. I'm not the one going around with Hitler salutes. Okay, guys. I'm bad-mannered. At least he's well-mannered, but he throws Hitler salutes.
Right. Okay. I actually, for the sake of the camera, I'll give this context, right?
Sure.
You asked me about, I think it was Father Calvin Robertson, someone who interviewed me, right?
Okay.
And you said, do you condemn him doing a Hitler salute? I said, no, it's not a Hitler salute. I wouldn't do it because it's a form of sarcastic terrorism. The strategy there is to do something that people on the left will say is a Nazi salute. Then you get the attention, you get the click farms, you get the engagement, and then you can say it's not that, and the left trying to vilify you.
All right,
sarcastic terrorism, I don't agree with it, but it's certainly not a Nazi salute. And I did it as
your fellow Christians in this park said it was a Nazi salute.
Wouldn't do it myself.
Your fellow Christians in this park said it was a Nazi salute.
Okay. And I find Muslims over here that don't like you.
But hang on.
And you probably don't like them. What's the point?
Hang on. Okay. So let's get back to it. Okay. So mixed race people can be natives.
They are, yes.
They are natives. Okay, that's really encouraging to hear. That's really encouraging to hear.
If I had, even the more extreme people than me that don't like it, and I don't really have anything to say about it.
Sure.
No, I personally have a white fiance.
But they have genetic issues.
No, that's okay. Each different group will have a different rate of having genetic issues. I stated on that live that some people give the argument from eugenics. I don't really care because there's a small percentage of the population.
But then why did you? I've got the video.
Okay, because you notice how I gave a conjunctive at the start of the sentence. Because if you actually... The person who clipped it, who you're currently watching, tried to deplatform me by deceptively clipping 1 minute clips out of a 3-hour session. I know it's not some random person on Twitter. It seems like you're such a fan that you can find someone who's a couple of thousand followers on Twitter.
Listen, this all started when you called my friend a Somalian pirate. That's why I went on your ex account.
You doxed me when I was homeless.
Listen, he did not dox you.
Yes,
we established that in the previous conversation. We're not going to get into this again. I was completely against you being doxed. Completely against you being doxed.
So
he was not the one that doxed you. Listen.
Do you know why I said he's a Somali pirate? He's Somalian and he pirates my